So, you like playing board games?
Exacting.
Welcome to the YouTube channel Exacting Games. Today we discuss tactical thoughts concerning the game Siege Stones. If you place a stone in Siege Stones, like the yellow player here, and blue on another space, the yellow player can try to conquer a tower. But the blue player can always make the tower an unoccupied one. In this example we can see that both players have the same amount of stones around the tower. The reason for that is that there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so an even number of spaces around the tower. On an edge space we have the same problem. There is an even number of stones around the tower. The tower isn't occupied yet. An exception are the 6 corner spaces. For example, if you put a stone on this space, and if your opponent doesn't place a stone on one of these 2 spaces, for example here, the yellow player can place and conquer a tower over a longer period of time, because the tries of the blue player winning the tower back lead to nothing. It's easy for yellow to conquer the tower back. The reason for that is that the corner spaces are surrounded by 3 spaces. The next tactic is obvious, but for the sake of completeness we want to show it anyway. Let's say we have this situation on the board and it is the blue player's turn. Let's say the player wants to prevent a tower on one of these spaces. To do that, the blue player places a stone on this space. Now the yellow player can't win a tower on that space, nor on that space, or that space. The only possibility for yellow now is this space. It can also be an advantage in the game to connect your own pieces correctly. Let's take a look at the example from player yellow. If the yellow player puts a stone on that space, or better, that space, there are many possibilities formed to threaten with a tower. For example, on this space there are 2 stones adjacent. On that space there are 3 stones adjacent. On that space there are also 2 stones adjacent, and on that space 1 stone. So now we know, by connecting your pieces correctly, you can build up multiple threats for a tower. With the next example we want to show you another tactic. First you build a tower. By that you can force your opponent to put the same amount of stones around the tower. Till this point nobody owns the tower. Then player blue puts a stone on this position. Hopefully yellow overlooks this and places a stone on that space. Now the blue player can put a tower on that space. With this move you downgrade the yellow stone down to 4 points. That's why blue wins the tower with 15 to 14 points. And blue wins the second tower with 5 to 4 points. Last but not least we want to talk about the endgame. If one player, like the blue player here, was able to conquer 3 towers and there is enough free place on the board, one single stone of the blue player is formed into a multiple threat. It doesn't matter on which space the yellow player puts his or her stone. In the next move the blue player can place a tower and wins the game. Because it is the last tower, it can't be conquered back.
Exacting.